November 7 Echo Charlie Victor, do you have any traffic for the Golden Bear Net? KL7 Quebec Kilo.
We are QRU. Thank you for the relay. Over.
Okay, I have you QRU, and you're welcome. Have a good evening.
Three watch, over. 73, have fun. Well, as you can see, I've been having fun with the sBitX radio since it's been here. I've had a chance to build a couple of these now, and it's quite interesting. So sit back, relax. I'll take you on a tour of what the basics are kind of looking like when you turn this thing on, and hopefully get you interested into buying one of your own. Stick around. Hi guys, N7ECV and QRP Life here. Well, we've got the sBitX Developers Edition up and running, and I'd figure I'd give you guys a quick tour on how I have things set up and make mention of what might be available for use on this radio. These are fun little radios. If you're not familiar with it, this is a Raspberry Pi based big brother of the sBitX QRP radios. This one's a 40 watt SDR, and I have a little bit of fun with it. First thing you're going to want to do after plugging your antenna and turning it on is get to accessories and copy your SD card. I've already done that, and I've got a 64 gig card in here. When you order this radio, it will come with a 32 gig card preloaded with the basic software. I will note that you're going to see a bunch of things on this one that are not preloaded, but easily accessible. So the basics, you do get FLDigi, WSJTX, and QSSTV, the sBitX software, and WSJTX. Those are about the basics there that come with it. As you can see, I've got a little bit more put on here. I do appreciate the Audacity and the Voco screen capture. Makes things a little simpler for YouTubers, for sure. Anyhow, I do know that a lot of this can work or should work with the radio. I'm still in the process of figuring out some of the ports and stuff, but it's definitely accessible. If you're not familiar with Raspberry Pi at all, something like this is new to you, you can go to add or remove there and just search ham radio. And if you're online, which I am not, if you're online, the Raspberry Pi will search any software that's in the repositories out there. So let's try that again. That speaker noise is from the Wi-Fi packets. It's just a little too close to the speaker. I've tried toroids and I have tried shielding the speaker itself, and to no avail as of yet. Toroids did quiet a little bit down. Anyway, as you can see here, it'll show you what packages you already have, and it'll also give you an idea of what the packages are all about. So it gives you just a brief definition of what you're looking for, what you're looking at. You would simply click apply, and it would reach out and grab whichever website's holding that or repository and download it and install it to your Raspberry Pi. Lickety split. Pretty simple these days. All right, well, it's fairly basic. You've all seen ham clock. You guys have seen probably every single one of these in some form or another. So let's jump right into what you guys are here for. The sBitX software. Simple click or double click. and it should bring us up there. There's a couple little clicks of the hardware inside the box. And in true fashion, we're going to have to restart. Developer's Edition little kind of hacker box here, guys. It's not always 110%. And that's just kind of the way it goes. And I may be having an issue with the screen recorder. Stand by. Okay. It's just a little bit of a hang-up between the screen recorder and sBitX. Definitely one of the cons of running with a small computer. But as you can see here, I'm in 20 meter and running some FT8 or just monitoring some FT8 at the moment. Shut the Wi-Fi off here, get rid of that speaker noise. That's the infamous speaker noise for sure. Give you a quick walkthrough. Up here at the top, this is how we're going to set our step. It's adjustable by clicking on it with the mouse or touch screen. And then you can either rotate the top rotary encoder to make your changes or rotate your mouse wheel. Not a whole lot of step to choose from, as you can see what's available there. We also have a dual VFO. This will change our span. Image gets a little pixelated at 2.5 kilohertz, but it's not really too bad. There's an RIT. This off button right here is going to actually shut the sBitX software off. So basically shut your radio down. It'll exit to the desktop. This is your call, your grid square, and your time. I'm keeping time with the U-Blox GPS module. It does quite well. Even though it still says half a second or more here, I'm thinking this is due to some type of latency between this system talking with WSJTX. Because I am right on the gnat's ass as far as time's concerned in WWV. Here's your band switches. They're stacked so you can click them a couple times and land on some different frequencies there. Still having some issues. There we go. Now it's changing. Anyway, kind of typical. Your band switch, your modes, USB, lower sideband, CW, CW lower sideband, FT8 mode. It has to be an FT8 to work FT8. PSK31, the same. RTTY. And digital. Digital will be working like that SS TV program and a couple other things. Being a true SDR, we do have full filtering capabilities. Adjustable by the mouse or top decoder. Pretty slick, actually. You can split them both up fairly nice. You get fairly narrow if you are a CW guy. Automatic gain control. On, off, slow, or medium. We have the intermediate frequency, which is actually kind of nice to control here. You can get your settings quite nice to where it almost a full quieting type audio for sure. Audio, of course, is your volume. Mic gain, compression. The words per minute is for your keyer. This is how you're going to set the pitch for not only where you're going to transmit for FT8, but to bring in or transmit CW to receive, especially with the CW decoder. This shuts your split on and off, of course. It has a voice recorder at the moment, and they're working on a voice keyer. That works quite simply just by clicking it. Change our power to 30 watts. I usually run about 6. A regular keyboard with macros, and the macros change with the mode. So if I'm in FT8, I got FT8 macros, PSK31, and I'm down to CW as well. The CW decoder works quite nice. Just not the greatest while I'm running the screen recorder. But we'll get that figured out too. Anyway, that's the basics here. We've got QRZ. If there's a log entry, we can QRZ to query. We can wipe the screen and log. We can log it. This will edit whatever's going in the log entry. Click spot to send a spot report of who we've talked to. And this gets us back to keyboard. That is really the basics here of the radio. I was glad you guys got to see some of the little hiccups with it too. It just kind of part of the process here with this little thing every now and then, but it's always brought itself back to operating normal for me, so I haven't had too many worries about it. You can hit the close button and that'll bring your desktop up. It's like minimizing the window. And then off will shut that down for you, and you want to make sure to close FL Digi behind it as you go. Anyway, I do enjoy playing around with this thing. There's a lot of neat stuff that I've never had in the shack before, as I mentioned in a prior video there. And I'm happy to be able to just kind of play around with my sBitX, the Developer's Edition. I will say that if you do order one of these, they're come in plug and play, so please don't mess around with the biases and stuff. Don't jump into these kits without paying attention and doing your research first. There's nothing to adjust with these anymore as you get them, and there's nothing to worry about other than putting them either together or just plug and play with your antenna and power supply. That's kind of the basics of the sBitX. There's not a whole lot more I can show you guys. If you have any questions or comments, please write them down below, and I'll try to keep track of it for you. But I appreciate you guys taking a look here and keeping up with it and me. This is N7 Echo Charlie Victor 73, guys.